Privileges of a student group at Indian Institute of Madras have been curtailed after allegations that this group was spreading hatred against Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his policies. The controversial move comes after an anonymous complaint alleged that the group tried to mobilize minority students to question government policies on the use of Hindi and the ban on beef. The HRD ministry instituted an inquiry into this complaint. The complainant had enclosed one of the group's pamphlets reproducing a speech which criticized the Modi government and its policies. India Today has accessed details of this anonymous complaint. The student group, Ambedkar Periyar Student Circle, has been accused of polarizing the student body at IIT Madras. The institute issued a statement. It said that it does not curtail freedom of expression of students, but adds the student group did not adhere to guidelines laid down, and that is why certain privileges stood withdrawn. Now, call us, tell us what you think of this. Lalita joins us from Chennai. Lalita, is this IIT's finger on lips that you criticize Modi government, you face a ban?
Yes. Shall I start?
Please.
Hello.
Go on, Lalita. Tell us your views.
When will all you TV channels report happenings in the proper light and perspective? We, the people of Tamil Nadu at last, are happy to learn Hindi and Sanskrit after 15 long years under BJP government. This Periyar party and its students wing are raising slogans once again against Hindi, Hindu governments and Brahmins. They are breaking our Hindu idols in the temples. Recently, they held 2 to 3 functions where their female members flung their Mangal Sutra at their husbands in front of their children, and some men threw their sacred thread condemning Hindu traditions. Naturally, this upset all the Hindus of Tamil Nadu who had the High Court to ban such functions, which hurt the Hindus a lot. Did your TV channels report about these DK functions? The Hindu devotees also have religious freedom and also to learn Hindi and Sanskrit. Who are they to ban it for us? The Students' Union wants us to do the same thing, and rightly IITM and Smriti Irani banned it. We admire Smriti Irani. If Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Congress support this Periyar and Ambedkar party, they will have to face the fury of the Hindus of Tamil Nadu.
Okay, you are saying that this is religious? Now, privileges of these students stand withdrawn. They cannot use IIT Madras's names in any of their pamphlets, cannot seek support in the name of IIT Madras. They cannot use the internal publicity board of IIT Madras to put up their posters, banners or pamphlets. I want to bring in Usha Rao from Bengaluru. Usha Rao, does this smack of arrogance on the part of government? Is this, as Kancha Elaya alleges, pressure on academic freedom to stifle dissent?
Absolutely, Gaurav. Good evening, first of all. And a dangerous trend of muzzling voices of dissent is being seen in our country after the BJP has taken over the reins at the center. This does not augur well for the future of our democracy, In a healthy, vibrant democracy, one has to respect all views and all perspectives, irrespective of whether they are in line with the government's line of thinking or not. And in this particular case in IIT, how can criticizing the government be construed as spreading hatred? And we are not living in a totalitarian regime where all voices of dissent are ruthlessly suppressed,
Okay. Ms. Rao, many thanks for sharing your views. You said this is stifling dissent. Sahu Kulkarni also now joins us. Mr. Kulkarni, your views on what the Ambedkar Periyar Student Circle was doing and the IIT action taken.
Hello, Gaurav.
How are you? Please go on.
Okay. Well, it is about Hindi enforcement, especially by the BJP government. I am from Maharashtra, and I have seen RSS Shakhas also enforcing it quite brutally in Maharashtra Shakhas as well. So, center is being totally unjust to local languages, and well, what my sentiments are echoed by IIT students from Madras. So, that's it.
Okay, so you are saying that Hindi should not be forced on students in IIT Madras.
No language should be enforced because India is a multilingual country, isn't it?
Absolutely. Distribution of controversial posters and pamphlets on the campus of IIT Madras, and the allegation against students is that the HRD letter that has gone to the director of IIT Madras says that these students were allegedly involved in distribution of controversial posters and pamphlets on the campus and creating an atmosphere of hatred. K. Ramesh joins us now from Chennai, and Mr. Ramesh, your views on the action taken by IIT Madras.
Yes, three things. Right now, to be fair to the whole thing, the devil lies in detail. We do not know what kind of a speech they were making, because this group is known to be making particularly hatred speech against majority community. No community feeling should be hurt, whether it is minority or majority community, number one. Number two, apparently from TV news I gather that IIT brand name is used. For example, if you say anybody can wear anything and go anywhere, it is your freedom of right. There is no moral policing on that. But if schools or educational institutions say you have to wear a particular uniform, that is a reasonable restriction. Constitution doesn't provide for unfettered freedom. There is no such freedom. Is not freedom for all. It is subject to educational institution cannot use IIT brand name to go and promote pro-particular government or anti-particular government. Suppose another student community starts hating speech about another community. Start talking everything in favor of Modi government. Don't you think there will be political clashes within educational institutions? So therefore, this is one thing. Thirdly, there is logically one more thing. It will be fashionable at some point of time in media.
Fair point you are making there, Mr. Ramesh, that nobody's sentiments should be heard. But is there a need to draw a line? Because academic freedom is also required. Freedom of speech is also required. Stay with me for a moment. A lot of reactions coming in. I'll try and reestablish that line with Mr. Narayanan. But Mr. Srinivas is with us from Hyderabad. Your views on what's happening at IIT Madras, sir?
I think the government is right in doing what they are doing there. The students there actually are sent to study, not to do all this harakiri. Yeah, it is true that there are some they can do all these types of things and all those things, the student agitations and all those things. But at the end of the day, IITs and IIMs, they are the topmost institutes where the students are asked actually to do some of the biggest inventions and all those things, so that India moves forward and do all these many of these forward. If you take the IAF and all those things, they took almost 30 years to manufacture one single aircraft. These people are sent to do which is good to the nation, not lose there and stand on the political stand and all those things.
Many thanks for joining us with your views. Aditya joins us from Chennai. Aditya, students in Chennai say we cannot use the name of IIT Madras anymore. We've been accused of violating guidelines, and this, according to the students, is stifling freedom of expression. Do you agree with the students?
Well, it is being made out as if the Narendra Modi government is clamping down on them for criticizing the government. But what comes out is that the institution itself has another explanation, that they have used the name of the institution. So when that is the explanation, why is it being made out that they are being temporarily suspended because, first of all, they are not being banned, they are being temporarily suspended because they have criticized the government, when the institution itself says that it's just for using the name of the institution. After all,
but give them the freedom to say what they will. Should that not be the way in an academic institution? Listen to different voices. Rakesh joins us from Telangana. Rakesh, tell us what you think of the action taken by IIT Madras.
Hi, I'm Rakesh. I'm the BJP State Youth Secretary of Telangana. I think whatever the IIT Madras institution has done in regards to the Ambedkar Career Study Circle is right. I mean, it's not the government, it's not the MHRD has taken the decision. The MHRD has actually directed it has brought the issue to the notice of the institution, and institution under the guidelines of the independent bodies within the institution has taken the decision to temporarily de-recognize the student body, and they are also given a chance to produce their stand in front of the student forum. So once
No,
the
but
student
why
forum
should
is
the
convened-
government get involved with it at all? Since you represent the BJP, let me put this question to you, Rakesh. Why should the HRD ministry get involved in this at all? It's an autonomous academic institution.
It is an autonomous education institution, but at the same time, if the hatred is created and if the student body in the name of IIT Madras using that brand, they try to oppose or try to speak in support of a particular view or a particular ideology or a particular political party, it doesn't do any good. And the IITs are actually created to produce some of the best scientists for the country, but not to create this kind of hatred among the people. And let's say if there is something unusual that happens in the campus tomorrow, what does the TV say? What does the media say? That the government is ineffective in handling the situation. So therefore, the government has actually took the notice, took view of some of the students in IIT Madras to the IIT director, and the IIT director later has taken the decision in compliance with the institution regulations.
I want to bring in Kishore from Bangalore, but before I do that, let's listen into CPI leader D. Raja, who's charging the HRD ministry of interfering with the independence of an academic student and stifling dissent at an academic institution. Let's listen into D. Raja. Caste-based discrimination is being alleged, and Kishore joins us from Bengaluru. Kishore, your views on what the students did and IIT Madras's reaction.
I think first the media houses should make it clear what are the rules and regulations that are in place at IIT Madras, and then compare with what the students have actually done from this Pereira and Ambedkar circle. Now, hearing Mr. Raja of CPI speak, it is shocking to hear politicians make such statement as discrimination and all that. I think they would do better to understand what the rules and regulations are and what this particular circle has, trespassed or taken action, crossed over without taking the permission of the institute.
Okay. Unni Krishnan joins us from Delhi. Is this freedom of expression? What students were doing, saying that Narendra Modi government policies are anti-lower caste, they only benefit a couple of castes, seeking support for saying beef ban is incorrect. All of this is permissible in a democracy. What do you think, Mr. Unni Krishnan, of action taken by IIT Madras?
That is the point. This is completely against freedom of expression. Our courts and our constitution has given a person, every citizen, the complete right for freedom. But our government, what our governments are doing, even by taking this as a lesson, not only governments, even the institutions like St. Stephen's are going on with the same action. And IIT Madras case is a new one, and the central government and the Prime Minister himself is enjoying this. See, in today's press conference, I have seen from some media that some of the media persons were asking to Home Minister Mr. Rajnath Singh, what is his reaction? He is saying that he is not aware of the fact. And even the central ministers are enjoying the action by such an institution. And so, time for Prime Minister to make his view clear on this issue. He is very active in social media, and this issue is debating widely in all media from the morning itself. But he is not even ready to make his point very clear. So, what we can understand is this is a very clear case against freedom of expression, and central government is trying to demolish the democratic freedom in campuses everywhere.
Okay. Savita joins us from Hyderabad. Savita, your take on the students who say it is freedom of expression. We have a view. We were putting that out. The administration has clamped down on freedom of expression. Your take on that?
Good afternoon. The way I see an institute of higher education functions at two levels. One is to promote the academic excellence. The other is also to develop a wide horizon of thought. And it was in fact heartening for me to note that there was actually such a body in existence in IIT Chennai, which was talking about issues related to caste, issues related to culture and things like that. And the way the Ministry of Human Resources has reacted to this, it smacks of some kind of intention to stifle this kind of development in thought. And I think the issue should be looked into further, and the dean should actually take back this particular notification, whatever he is given, I don't know what exactly the student body has spoken about, but this kind of a knee-jerk reaction that MHRD has sort of, bulldozed the institution into doing, that is definitely not a very heartening thing to see.
In a democracy, Avinash joins us from Hyderabad. And Avinash, the students were telling us that now they can no longer use the auditorium. They cannot use IIT Madras premises for their talks, for their convocations. No posters on the internal publicity board. Students say, where should we go? IIT Madras says the students have violated the rules of the campus. Where do you stand on this?
Okay, this is absolutely absurd on the part of the IIT authorities and the government of this country. This is a democratic state, and democracy, individualism is the core of it. This is because individualism gives you an opportunity to overcome this majoritarianism, dogma, superstition, and move.
Okay. So our viewers say that freedom of expression should be permitted, but several say that at this point of time, one thing needs to be very clear. You cannot hurt sentiments of any community, come what may.